Hey, what's up? It's Matt in Japan and welcome back to my channel. And today we're bringing you Transformers 86 the movie Studio Series Hot Rod. Now let's get a close look at him in the packaging. First and foremost, that beautiful piece of artwork on the lower left corner. There he is holding the Matrix and lighting the darkest hour, as we all know from the movie. Very, very cool. Taking a look at the packaging, very run-of-the-mill packaging here for the Studio Series line. You have Takara Tomy, you have the Generations logo, Transformers down the side, and that's about it. On the side, you do have a very close-up image of Hot Rod there, looking very nice and powerful. And he is a Voyager class, so this box is a little bit bigger than your Deluxe class figures. On the bottom, you have product information. On the side, you have that same image, the Generations logo, authentic. And you have the little window cut out there with the 86. And on the top as well, you have a little window that says Transformers the movie in that really cool font and nice colors from the movie. On the back, you have your product images. You have, there he is, Hot Rod in his robot mode. And up top here, it says big screen inspired scale detail backdrop. Now the backdrop that comes with Hot Rod is the depths of Unicron. It is shown here in the lower right. There it is. And he converts in 29 steps into his vehicle mode. And down the bottom, it says Hot Rod lights the darkest hour. And we all know what that means. It means to open this guy up and see what he's all about. So without further ado, let's get into 86 Studio Series Hot Rod. Okay, so here I have 86 Studio Series Hot Rod out of the packaging and onto his backdrop. And there you see some nice detail of the depths of Unicron there. Some nice grays and blues and some really almost tunnel-like image there. So very cool. So let's take a look at Hot Rod up close. First, let's take a look at the head sculpt. It's very, very well done. You have some gray plastic and some really nice sculpt work on the face. You do have some very light blue painted eyes there. And you have a little bit of silver paint on the top of his helmet there. So very nice head sculpt. I think they did a very good job on that. And this figure is just laden with detail and paint. So it's really, really nice. On top of the shoulders here, you did some nice silver paint. Going down the figure, you get the classic flame image on his chest. You have the Autobot symbol there. And you have some nice sculpted detail throughout the figure. And you have a little bit of orange paint on the forearms here. And you have some silver paint here for the exhaust pipes. We'll see more in vehicle mode. Some nice sculpted detail here on the waist. Going down the figure. You get some nice sculpted detail on the legs as well. And this, what I thought was sort of a gray plastic. It's more of like almost a little bit of purple thrown in there. So kind of a dark gray, but it's got a little bit of a purplish hue. So very, very nice. I really like the look of that, and it looks very nice. So turning the figure around, he has very little backpack here. It's very nice how he folds up, and it's very compact. He's very thin, and actually he's very light to the touch as well. So going on the back of the figure, there you have the big yellow fin there. You get a little bit of sculpted detail on the fin, and not much else on the back of the figure. He does have a place for a stand there on the back, and not a whole lot else. It is nice that he doesn't have much hollowness going on, so they filled in all these parts, and they did a really good job doing that. So as far as articulation, his head is on a ball joint, so he can look up and down. He can do a little bit of side to side, and it can do a full 360 there. His shoulders they're on a hinge joint here, so they can go out that much. There's nothing at the bicep because of the transformation, because of the wheels here. But he does have a elbow swivel, so his elbow can go all the way around like that. And he has about a little bit over 90-degree bend at the elbow. And the hands are articulated as well. You can turn those 360. Let's just get his hands out of the way there. And he does have a full 360 on the waist. And if you pull these up a little bit, you can kick his legs out so you can do the full splits there. And putting that back down, you can get a really nice kick back. About that far, not all the way back, and a kick forward. He can actually do a nice high kick there, so that's very nice. There's a little bit of swivel at the top of the thigh here. It's very tight on my copy, so it's very nice. And at the knee, you get a little bit over 90-degree because of the transformation as well. So a lot of articulation on this figure. Now going down to the foot, you do get a little bit of forward and backward movement as well as the ankle rocker pivot, but not a whole lot on the ankle. So it's a little bit limited, but at the same time, you do get a lot of articulation. So one of the features to this guy is his head. So if you take his helmet and not take it off, but just lift up that part, you can pull down his
his little sunglasses, a little visor there, and just put the helmet back down so you can have him. That looks very cool. I really like that look. So you can have him wearing his blue tinted sunglasses. I really like that. Such an added feature that they didn't have to put in, but they did. So I think that's a very cool feature. We'll just put that back there. It just folds back, and you can put his helmet back down like that. So putting him on the backdrop again, and he comes with a plethora of accessories. So first of all, let's take a look at his blasters. They are just done in a red plastic. They are both the same, so I will just show you one here. But it is done in a red plastic painted with some silver, and actually some very nice detail on the gun. And I will show you the gun from the G1 figure. So it's actually a pretty good likeness. They did a pretty good job sculpting the gun there. So let's just take a quick look at those two. So yeah, very nice. Pretty faithful representation there. So he comes with two of those. He comes with the two blasters. He comes with his saw blade, which is in the famous scene where he cuts a cup away from the giant squid. So this is also done in that sort of purpley gray plastic with a nice silver paint on it, and it does spin around, and you do get some nice detail on the blade there. So very, very nice. He also comes with two blast effects, which can be put on the ends of the guns. So let's just see how those fit on the guns there. So they look like that. So the blast effects are very cool. I actually like these a lot. Very detailed. So nice. You can put it like that, or you can put it like that, whichever way you'd like. So he comes with two blast effects. He does come with the Matrix of Leadership, of course. So this is done in a silver paint with some sort of copper color around here and a dark blue in the center. So very nice. I mean, we've all seen the Matrix of Leadership before, so nothing real new. But what is new is the light, sort of the plastic blast effect. Not really blast effect, but the sort of the light coming out of the Matrix when he's lighting the darkest hour. So just the detail on this is really, really cool. And there are two little tabs here on either side that just clip into the Matrix. So you can just take this and align it up, and it just pushes in there. And it should go in. Yeah, and it does. And that is something he can hold. And we will take a look at that right now. Okay, so I got him in the pose there with the Matrix of Leadership, lighting the darkest hour. It's a little bit tricky, but you can actually get him in some decent poses. So there he is holding the Matrix there, and very, very cool. Recreates that famous scene in the movie very, very well. So that is really cool. So we'll take that off for now. So for weapon storage, you can take his blasters, and there are pegs on either side of the blasters, and you just want to aim them up. So we'll put in one on this side, like that, and that pegs in like that, and then the other on the opposite side. So we'll just peg in into that slot like that, and that creates actually a holder for the blade, the saw blade. So if you see on the saw blade, there's two slots there that will peg into these two pegs here. So there's weapon storage for both the blasters and the saw blade. So that is very nice. If you want weapon storage, it's there. So it just pegs on really tight. I like that. So if you want the weapon storage, it does add a little bit to the backpack, but not too bad. So that is nice that there is weapon storage. So taking that off, and let's get into the saw blade. So one thing you can do is take his hand, and if you pull it out to the side here, this part opens up. Right on the back, actually, from the side. So that part opens up, and then you can flip his wrist around. So you just flip that around, and that allows you to put some other weapons and things on here, namely the saw blade. So that just pegs right onto his arm like that, and it's very, very tight. So there you have, let's try and orient his arm a little bit better there. There you have Hot Rod with his saw blade in that famous scene where he's cutting cup away from the giant squid. So that's another thing that you can do. So it's really cool. I really like that. Again, it's very well done. This figure is very cool, and I really think it's very, very well done. So we will leave, actually let's change that back because I want to do a comparison. The only other Hot Rod figure I have in my collection is G1 Hot Rod. So we'll just bring him in for a sec. And we can get this back out. Take that and flip his wrist back out. A little bit tricky here. It's a little bit tight. And just flip his wrist back out. So there we go. So just bringing in G1 Hot Rod for a quick comparison. Let's take away the backdrop here so we have a little more room.
So there we have the 86 Studio Series Hot Rod, and there he is with his G1 self, and you can see some similarities between the two. So very cool. I think they did a really good job on the head sculpt especially. It's very, very true to the original figure. Of course, the original had those very nice stickers on them, but I think overall they did a really good job of emulating that. So, and some other size comparisons. So let's take Hot Rod here, and let's bring in 86 Studio Series Blur. And let's bring in 86 Studio Series Cup. So that's how they fare. Now, Hot Rod is a Voyager class, so it's, you know, comparatively, Blur and Cup are almost as tall as Hot Rod, so I'm not sure how they get the Voyager class size out of this figure. But taking these guys away, sorry about that, Cup, taking these guys away and bringing in Voyager class Kingdom Cyclonus. Now this guy is a Voyager class. So that's why I say kind of like, I don't understand how Hot Rod is considered a Voyager class, where Cyclonus just towers over him. But anyways, it is what it is. And that's the comparison between a Kingdom Voyager class and the 86 Studios Series Voyager class. Okay, so here we have 86 Studios Series Hot Rod all transformed in his vehicle mode. And that transformation was very ingenious, very creative. I really like the transformation on this figure. It's really cool. It's something very different than I've ever experienced with a Hot Rod figure, which isn't saying much, but very cool nonetheless. So let's just take a quick look at him in his vehicle mode. So you get some really nice detail on the side of the exhaust pipes here, painted in a really nice silver. And going down, a lot of that sort of nice red there. And there's a little bit of silver paint on the tires, which is nice. You get some nice detail on the front with the flame and a little bit of sculpted detail here on the front. And you get the engine block there painted in a nice silver. You get a nice translucent blue plastic for the windshield. And much the same on the back. You get a little bit of, you can see a little bit of robot kibble there, but not too bad. And the underside, he's pretty well tucked away under there. So very cool. Now a couple of the things you can do with the accessories is you can, of course, put the blast effects on the back of the tailpipes here. So you can do that and make him look like he's burning rubber, as we used to say. That's very cool. Makes him look like he's going really fast there. And he does roll really nicely, so that's cool. That's one thing you can do. Also, you can put his guns on the top of the car mode here. There's two slots here. And I do have to apologize. I did make a mistake. These two blasters are not the same. Let me just put this down for a sec. This blaster is different, and this one more resembles, let's see, the G1 gun. This is what I meant to do, this comparison, not the other one. So if you see these two, you can see that they are both, this is the actual mold that they were after with this blaster. So the two blasters are not identical. They are different. So I think maybe I'm missing, I'm not sure if the original G1 came with two blasters, if I'm missing one, but this is the one that they modeled this after. So they are not the same, as you can see right here. So I do apologize that. So they are a little bit different. I thought they were exactly the same, but as you can see, they're just a tiny bit different there. So anyways, what I was saying was you can put these on either side. There's those same pegs, and you can put them in like so. And just slot those in. And again, if you want to put the blade, the saw blade, again, using those same two pegs that we saw on the backpack there, you can take those and put them in like so. It's a little bit of a tight fit there, but you get the picture. So you can have this sort of blade blasting hot rod look there. So it's something you can do. I don't really like that look, but anyways. So we'll take all those accessories off. We'll take those guys off, take the blast effects off, and we'll bring in a comparison with the G1 Hot Rod. So there he is with his G1 self. And a very, very cool look. Very faithful to the original toy, but more importantly, faithful to the 86 movie. So very nice. I really like the way those look together. And bringing in just another, another Studio Series vehicle comparison. Here we have 86 Studio Series Jazz. So there he is. Jazz is a deluxe class. Hot Rod is the Voyager class. Again, very similar in vehicle mode as well. Let's take them and put them side by side. As you can see, Jazz is a little, geez, they're really actually quite similar. Just the tip of Hot Rod's front is just a little bit taller, but overall, and Hot Rod's a little bit wider, but overall they scale pretty similarly. So
Again, not sure where they're getting that Voyager class moniker. Anyway, so this is 86 Hot Rod, the movie Transformers Studio Series. I really like this figure a lot. I think it's got so much playability. You have all the features, you have all the accessories it comes with. It's just a great figure all around. The transformation was great. Articulation, everything. I highly recommend this figure if you guys get your hands on them. I know they're being flooded out in the States right now. I was lucky enough to get this figure here in Japan. So I'm very happy to add him to my collection and have one more G1-esque Hot Rod figure in my collection. So this has been Matt in Japan. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.